Hi, I'm Diamond.
And I'm Malcolm.
And we're just a couple of true crime and paranormal fanatics here to share some stories. Like many of you, we've spent quarantine,
and most of our lives prior,
watching documentaries of serial killers and keeping up with all the paranormal investigators.
Our podcast, Killers, Cryptids, and Hauntings, dives into the stories that grip us the most.
Whether it's due to the backstory,
the legends surrounding,
or the sheer gore of it all,
we're here to deliver.
So lock your doors, grab a bottle of wine, and let's get creepy.
You know, I was thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Halloween's like a week away.
Oh my gosh, no, ready.
I know, I have no idea what I want to be for Halloween this year.
Oh, wait, I think maybe, I'm just spitballing here. Maybe you can be Jack Black for Halloween.
Oh, shoot. Oh.
And a very specific Jack Black.
A very special Jack Black. Obviously the Jimmy Fallon Jack Black.
Absolutely. You got to get a saxaboom and everything. The
saxaboom, seriously. Oh my god. Did you know he has a TikTok now?
It's my favorite thing
It's
ever.
my favorite thing. Listen, everything in my life, I want to be like Jack Black.
You're almost there. You just need a better beard.
I know. I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I need to dance more.
You do need to dance more. Learn how to play the saxaboom.
Yeah, I need to learn how to play the saxaboom. It's a very, very skilled instrument.
Yes, it is.
Very rare, very, very special.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of Halloween, I think we have something special that we wanted to do.
Oh, do we have something special? Was it something like a special announcement?
Something like a special announcement? You know, I think I gave a sneak peek on Instagram. But this Halloween at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be doing our first live stream on Instagram.
What?
So exciting. So make sure to grab a bottle of wine, mark the date.
Yeah, you guys should definitely join in because this live stream is really special. Not only because it's our first live stream, but we don't know how frequently we're going to get the chance to do them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the perfect opportunity to shoot in any questions, comments, concerns.
Throughout the live stream, we will probably be answering a couple of questions. So if you wanted to send us any submissions, either through Instagram or through kchpodcast.submissions@gmail.com. We'll be more than willing to read any cool stories, answer any questions. Have you seen a ghost before? Please tell us.
Please. We want to know.
We're begging you. Anyway, I think now, Diamond, is going to be the perfect time for some, Ride or Die.
You know the dealio, Malcolm. I will fan out the cards. You will pick one when it piques your interest. And our card is the Hierophant. Okay, so the keywords for our card today are spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, tradition, and institution.
Do go on.
The Hierophant card represents an established set of spiritual values and beliefs and is often correlated with religion and other formal doctrines. Before you can discover your own belief systems and make your own choices, the Hierophant encourages you to learn the fundamental principles from a trusted source. Work with a teacher, mentor, or guide to teach you about spiritual values and beliefs in a structured way. He may be an authority or a kind and generous mentor who nurtures your spiritual awareness and helps you access the divine by understanding the traditions and core principles. You may also undertake a period of formal study as you delve into a subject that has been widely explored and documented. The Hierophant's arrival suggests that you are following convention and staying within the bounds of a tried and tested model. You are not yet willing to go out on a limb or offer any new and innovative ideas. Instead, you adhere to the key principles and rules that you know will lead to a successful result. The Hierophant may call you to honor family traditions or sacred rituals that sit neglected. You are being asked to commit a spiritual practice in its most wholesome form. No customization, no adaptation, no bending the rules. If you have been lacking ritual and tradition, create a regular practice such as a daily prayer or saying grace before a meal. Consider exploring your spiritual or religious heritage. The Hierophant Tarot card often speaks to group membership or being part of an institution. You may enjoy a deep sense of comfort being surrounded by people who have well-established belief systems and explicit values. Finding them may be as significant as exploring a new church or religious group, or as simple as joining a gym or online tarot community. This card is about identifying with others and a way of thinking that will prompt further learning. You know what it makes me think of? Is how I'm kind of, and not just me either, it's also a mutual friend of ours, who's kind of introducing you to this whole new world of spirituality.
You know, that's very fair. You know, the whole law of attraction and everything, being in touch with a more spiritual side, which for me is the first time I've ever, you know, I grew up very non-religious. Like, we celebrated Christmas, but, like, that was the most religious that I ever got.
It was more of an American Christmas than a Christian Christmas.
Exactly. And then the family that I'm, like, closest to is all Jewish, so I grew up seeing a lot of, like, Jewish ceremonies and everything like that. But I never had a very established religion or spirituality until this year, really, until, like, the last couple of months, actually.
Yep, and it's very exciting to be your mentor.
Spiritual running mate, as you throat punch me into joining you on this journey.
Hey, you know, I've learned from the best. Sometimes in order to get the person to go with you, you gotta stick him in a sack and drag him.
You know, you're not wrong. You know, it's funny to bring up spirituality and everything. I feel like something that goes kind of hand in hand with that is a healthy dosage of skepticism.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know, skepticism kind of helps keep people grounded and find the route that's going to work best for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that skepticism that we all have ends up being really important for us in our day-to-day lives and what we see, and especially doing something like this, like the show that we're doing here.
Definitely, absolutely.
Talking about ghosts and serial killers and cryptids.
Yeah, without the skepticism, this would just be a history podcast.
Exactly. And you know what's funny, talking about cryptids? I realized that this is episode 4, and we haven't done a real cryptid yet.
Have we not? Oh, well, slap my ass and call me Sally. We haven't done a cryptid yet, have we?
Wow, why was that your go-to expression there?
It is one of my favorite expressions.
But yeah, you know, I realized that we haven't done a single cryptid, and that changes tonight.
Ooh.
So tonight I actually have 2 stories for us. They're both pretty lighthearted, pretty quick and easy.
We're not doing just one cryptid, but 2.
Exactly. I gotta make up my namesake, you know what I mean? I have Mothman tattooed on my body. I gotta bring in this cryptid love.
Yes.
Now, I'm not doing the Mothman tonight. He is probably going to be saved for my birthday.
Oh, yes, and it's going to be very fun.
But tonight, I do actually have another one of my favorite cryptids called the Nightcrawler, or more specifically, the more famous one that people know is the Fresno Nightcrawler.
Is this similar to the X-Men
Oh, it is not similar to Kurt Wagner at all. I love him.
It's a shame. I really like his character.
Though, you know what's funny? Both of them have a tendency to, disappear.
But,
So yeah, the Fresno Nightcrawler, otherwise sometimes known as the Fresno Alien, is a mysterious newer cryptid with 3 well-known appearances. One of which in San Antonio, Texas, and the other 2 in Fresno, California, hence the name. Now, the only reason that these 2 have been linked together is due mainly in part just to the appearance of the creature in question. That creature is going to be a bipedal, somewhat humanoid-looking creature. It is medium height, usually gray or white, with no apparent arms, very long legs, most of their height being made up of their legs. And it's kind of hard to find details of what the upper body might look like just due to poor video quality of any of the sightings. They walk in kind of an odd manner. It almost looks like they have backwards bending knees, almost like a flamingo.
Oh.
But yeah, so they're pretty cute little creatures. I resemble them.
Really? Because they don't sound like cute creatures. The creature that I have created in my head based on that description is terrifying.
So picture, like, if a pair of pants was a ghost.
Like on Jimmy Neutron?
Kind of. Not quite, but close. So it's almost like picture a pair of pants, but the top is kind of rounded like a head. Whole thing looks kind of white. In between the legs, it looks almost webbed or almost like it's wearing a sheet. But I find them to be super adorable creatures. Anytime that I've ever seen any artwork or anything like that of them, they've always looked very, very cute.
Okay, now what you're saying is coming off very cute. I was picturing I was picturing a skinwalker, but only the bottom half.
Yeah, no, not that would have been horrifying. No, it's more like...
But like 7 feet tall. Like,
yeah. No, so these guys aren't super, super tall like that. They range from like 3 to 5 feet. It kind of depends. Certain sightings kind of have different things. I do want to talk about a few different sightings that we have.
Okay.
One of the most well-known is the Carmel area creature, which an unknown 60-year-old man, former Marine, was driving with his wife near Carmel on December 12th, 2014. He came over the hill and saw what he described as a 7-foot-tall, slender gray creature. Mainly due to the height, people weren't 100% sure if this was truly a Nightcrawler or not. Some people believe that the Carmel area creature is different from our Nightcrawlers, from our Fresno Nightcrawler.
But at the same time, I mean, think of the height of any species, the human species. You know, it can range from 3 to 8 feet.
Easily. And the other thing, too, is it's not quite known if these are an animal, a cryptid, or if they are an alien creature. So it's kind of hard to dictate, you know, what's normal. And plus, if you're coming over a hill, dark at night, and you see something you're not expecting to see, how do you... If I were to see something, I wouldn't know that that's 7 feet tall. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I have the worst spatial reasoning ever.
Yeah, so people have some slightly different ideas for the origins or for the explanations for this creature. Like I said, some people believe it might be an alien. Some people believe it might be a new species, possibly a primate with very short arms, almost like T-Rex arms.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Wait, what if they have like retractable arms?
Oh my god.
Like how cute would that would be? Scary but cute, like adorable.
I think they're adorable. I love this creature.
I don't know. Anything that has retractable anything is a little...
Right?
Yeah.
I'm getting like unhinging the jaw snake vibes and I don't know why.
Like, yes. Like mimic vibes. Like what if it's like a little mimic?
Yeah.
And you never know.
You know, some people also say that it might just be a misidentified deer standing up on its hind legs. Which, I don't know how... I read that, and I have no idea how you would mistake a deer, especially when you look at the pictures and videos of these things.
There's a definite mass when it comes to a deer, because what I'm picturing here is mostly legs and a little mound.
That's basically what they are.
Right, so, like, if a deer were to stand up on its hind legs, even a young deer, there's a whole mass there going. It's not all leg.
Exactly.
They got a whole body.
If it was... the rear end of a deer, maybe, but for them to say standing up specifically is kind of weird. Some people also say that it might just be pants on a wire being dragged with wire and string. We'll touch on that a little bit more in a second. There were some claims of this being a Native American legend. However, that was debunked and proven to be untrue.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wanted to get into a little bit of the Fresno sightings of these Nightwalkers, as that's where their name came from. The first sighting was by a man named Jose. His dog was barking outside, and he went and checked on his surveillance camera, and he saw this creature. The video ended up blowing up a little bit on social media. In fact, there were 2 featured videos blowing up around social media, as well as getting an appearance on the sci-fi show Fact or Faked.
Ooh.
Paranormal Files.
You know, that show is probably the only reason that I would ever consider getting cable again.
Right, honestly.
There's nothing else that I would do it for.
Seriously.
Definitely not the news.
But yeah, it was deemed unexplainable and is now considered a fun urban legend and an endearing addition to pop culture. And I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, an endearing addition, because they might actually just be deers, apparently.
In both California sightings, there's actually video footage seen, which if you hop onto our website, you're going to be able to see a link to the YouTube videos. It looks like a thin, white humanoid, no visual arms, and it looks almost like to be in like kind of a white ghost costume.
Do you know what this cryptid is making me think of?
What?
Like a really adorable and endearing D&D NPC.
Yeah.
Right, like how cute would this thing be, just following you around?
That would be really adorable. But yeah, that's more or less it as far as the Nightwalkers go. Like I said, very, very short, very lighthearted story. There is one video in particular that I did want to touch on and mention, which has been proven fake.
Debunked. Officially debunked.
Officially debunked. This video was created by a YouTuber, Captain Delusion, and the whole goal was to prove how easy it is to fake this kind of shit.
Oh, that's a pretty cool idea for a channel.
But yeah, what he did was he took 2 pairs of white pants and puppeteered them across the screen. And it's actually one of the most famous videos of the Nightcrawlers. And you can kind of see the way that they're swaying almost. It moved really flowy, which is obvious when you think about how it was just puppeteered.
Yeah, I mean, they were just pants on a string.
Exactly, but it shows how easy it is to fake a cryptid sighting.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of questions the validity of everything you see on the internet.
Yeah, but these things are so dang cute. They're real.
Oh, I want them to be real so badly. They are so adorable. They've gained so much attention in the last couple of years since the video came out. And it's been such a cute addition to the cryptid listing.
You know what I would love?
What would you love?
Like a little plushie.
Right?
Of this guy.
Oh, God. People do make them on Etsy and everything. They're so goddamn cute. I want one so bad.
I should look at that.
Yeah, seriously. Now, going from super, super adorable, let's get ugly.
Ooh, okay.
So, I have another cryptid for us today. This one is actually kind of local. So, going all the way from California, hopping on back to the East Coast.
Ooh, hello.
In Pennsylvania. So right around our neck of the woods. And today, we're going to be talking about the squonk.
The squonk?
The squonk. Spelled S-Q-U-O-N-K. Squonk.
Squonk.
So the squonk is again another mythical creature, cryptid if you would, reported to live in the hemlock forest of northern Pennsylvania.
Okay.
The squonk kind of has a fun little history. So, there was no record of it before 1910, before the publication of a book, actually, called Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods.
Okay.
So, this book is a collection of, urban legends and short stories in lumberjack folklore, which I didn't even know was a category.
I definitely have to look more into that.
Same. But there was no record of the squonk before this book. So, the fun thing about the squonk...
The squonk.
Besides the name,
Squonk.
is that the squonk is known as the ugliest creature alive.
Well, then you were born.
Wow. Shit. God damn.
Oh, man. Instant kill.
Anyway, the squonk is the ugliest creature alive, and it is also one of the most depressed creatures alive. Shut up. So, in Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods, it is written as, the squonk is of retiring disposition, generally traveling about at twilight and dusk. Because of its misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles, it is always unhappy.
It's misfitting skin. Now, because it's misfitting, is it too tight or is it too loose?
It is very, very wrinkly, resembling that of, use your imagination.
Oh.
Hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a squonk by its tear-stained trail, for the animal constantly weeps.
Okay.
When cornered, an escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself into tears.
This is great.
I love this creature so much.
Oh man, this is great.
So all of that was written by William T. Cox under the Squonk in Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods. Now, funny enough, the Squonk would return about 29 years later in another book called Fearsome Critters by Henry H. Tyrons, giving a little bit more detail on the Squonk and what it does. So in this book, it dictates that the Squonk is slowest on moonlit nights, as they try to avoid seeing its ugly appearance in any way, shape, or form.
This poor baby.
Including illuminated bodies of water. It is also said that it has webbed feet, and its Latin name, Lacrimicorpus dissolvens, translates in Latin to tear, body, and dissolve.
This poor baby.
I love him so much.
I also want a plush of him.
Right?
I want a plushie of both.
The fun thing about the Squonks, too, is they actually have a shout-out in scientific literature.
Ooh.
So there are substances that are stable in a solution or captured without actually catalyzing their own decomposition. So basically what that means is, in certain solutions, they'll dissolve.
Mm-hmm.
And it's named chemical squonks.
Oh my gosh, man. I wish I stayed in college long enough to learn about that.
Right? Chemical squonk?
Yeah.
Love it. But yeah, so that's the ugliest creature on the planet.
Ugliest creature on the planet. Well, he sounds adorable.
Right? I love both of these.
It's funny that you did the ugliest creature alive, because I may just have the ugliest person to talk about today.
Are you talking about yourself?
Oh, that's funny. No. No, I'm actually talking about the wonderful woman who we can credit the old hag stereotype to.
The old hag stereotype?
Mm-hmm.
Ugly, hooked nose, mole on the nose.
Yes. It is born with Ursula Southiel, more commonly known as Mother Shipton.
Mother Shipton?
Yes. So she's one of the earliest and possibly even the first known witch.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. She's also known as an English soothsayer and prophetess. She is associated with folklore about the origin of the rollright stones, which is a really interesting thing. We'll get into that in a second. And her prophecies were actually printed in 1641.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
There's not a whole lot of stone cold facts about her because she was born in 1488. So record keeping wasn't at its peak.
Yeah, especially if you weren't wealthy or royal.
Or pretty. Which she was neither of those things. The legend goes that she was born during a violent thunderstorm in a cave on the banks of River Nid in Knaresborough. Her mother, Agatha, was only 15 years old. She would not reveal who the father was, and because of how ugly Ursula came out, some people believe that the father was the devil.
That's quite a speculation. Okay.
Yeah. Imagine being that ugly that everyone's like, your dad's the fucking devil. After Ursula was born, they lived in that cave that she was born in for about 2 years before a local family took them in. They only actually took in Ursula, and they forced Agatha to join a convent.
Wow.
She was never really heard from again.
All right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, I've said multiple times that she's ugly, but how ugly is she for real? She was born with her head too big, her cheeks were sunken in, her limbs were twisted, and her eyes supposedly glowed like embers.
Wow.
Not to mention multiple warts and wrinkles at a young age. She looked like a whole troll.
Wow, that's a lot for like a kid to come out like that. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, most children look kind of like newborn rats, but
My dad said I look like an alien.
well, most kids look like aliens.
Yeah, but no. This ugliness lasted through her entire life.
That's upsetting.
It is upsetting. And I'm sure you can imagine it wasn't easy growing up with a face like that. A face not even a mother could love. The children teased her when she was young at school. And
No way.
yeah, I know. Who would have thought? And there were claims of her taking so-called revenge on the children by putting spells on them. There were accounts of children's hair being pulled or the children being tripped or falling with nothing around them.
Wow. Okay.
That's kind of where the rumors of her being a witch
Yeah,
came.
I mean, that makes sense. Especially to have like a super bullied girl.
Right.
You know.
Right. That's just like a recipe for a villain.
Seriously.
And then she ended up stopped going to school and just hung around that cave where she was born. She just hung around that cave for most of her time. While she was spending her time in that cave, she studied the forest and the flowers and the herbs and made lots of remedies and potions and everything and became a really peaceful person. I mean, honestly, those spells of trickery and revenge are the only malicious things that she reportedly ever did.
I mean, that makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, people learn how to cope over time with different things. And, you know, especially if you're a good person at your core, you
Yeah.
know, eventually you're gonna make peace with yourself in the world.
Yeah, of course. And, I mean, her luck turned around. She ended up getting married.
No way.
She did, to Tobias Shipton. At the age of 24, she was married.
Wow.
Which-
All right.
I don't think I'll be there.
Me either, but you know.
However, unfortunately, Tobias died just 2 years after they got married. No weird circumstances. It's the mid-1500s.
Yeah.
People die for anything.
And really young a lot of times, too. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
You'll die if you blink. So after he died, obviously she needed to support herself, so she made a living as a fortune teller.
Okay, which makes sense. She seems to have a prowess for it.
Yeah, and then she gained a reputation from it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. She lived a really peaceful life. She did write a lot of prophecies and always in poetry form, which is really cool.
That is really cool.
I'm going to read through a couple of them soon, and they are super fun. But she lives a nice full life. She dies at the ripe old age of 73
Wow, that is a ripe old age.
in the year 1561.
Wow.
So to live that long at that time.
That is genuinely pretty impressive.
Unfortunately, the church refused her burial, so her gravesite is like unknown.
Oh, that's shitty.
Right. They just like dumped her off somewhere.
Is that because of the being a witch or?
Because of the being a witch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
However, you can visit that cave that she hung around at. You can visit that now. It also has a wishing well, which
Oh, that's cool.
has a cool little ritual to it. What you do is you dip your hand in the water and you make your wish. You let your hand dry naturally and keep your wish a secret until it comes true.
Cute. Oh, that's really sweet.
So no coins needed.
Oh, good. We're in a coin shortage.
Now, with the legends surrounding her, we have the origin of the Rollright stones. It is known locally as the Rollreich stones. They are a stone formation located at the border of Oxfordshire and Warwickshire on this little hill.
Are they kind of like Stonehenge?
Kind of.
Okay.
It's like a circular formation of various stones.
Okay.
They are sitting on this hill that is overlooking a town called Longcompton, which is located in a valley right there. And the legend has it that the witch, Mother Shipton, approached a neighboring king and his men, and she said, "7 long strides shalt thou take, and if Longcompton thou canst see, King of England thou shalt be." The king, knowing that Longcompton was just over this hill,
Mm-hmm.
and he could see it by like reaching his head over her. He was very cocky. He was like, "Stick, stock, stone. As King of England, I shall be known."
Okay.
Everyone spoke in rhymes, apparently. Now, on his 7th stride, on his last step, he was confronted by a large mound of dirt that just grew in front of him, magically. And she said, "As long Compton thou canst not see, King of England thou shalt not be. Rise up, stick, and stand still, stone, for King of England thou shalt be none. Thou and thy men hoar stones shall be, and I myself an eldern tree."
Did she just turn them to stone?
She just turned them to stone. And if you go there, there's a stone, the King Stone, which is located behind this really awkward hill of dirt.
Okay.
And then his men were standing in circle formation. They were all turned to stones. And then there's the Whispering Knights a little further off, which were supposedly knights who were planning on ambushing the king and his men that were just in the area that also got turned to stone.
Wow, that's kind of cool. Okay.
Right. It's a really cool, legend there. However, the only bone I have to pick with this is the fact that she turned herself into a tree at the end.
Yeah.
They say that she died and was buried somewhere. I mean, maybe she did turn herself into a tree at the age of 73. Look at me, I'm rhyming now.
I think you spent a little too much time reading on these, huh?
But it's a really cool and fun legend.
That is really cool.
I choose to believe it myself.
It's also nice, Stonehenge doesn't have, there's no, known, this is what it's believed to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of cool that she was the birth of something kind of similar, but with such a cool story behind it.
Yes. Now, that's a really cool legend about her, but that's not the coolest part about her. The coolest part about her is her prophecies.
Oh, yes. All right, let's get into this.
So, in this prophecy that she said, which, if you look it up, it's structured like one long poem.
Like an epic poem?
It's not long enough to be epic. It's only about a page or two. But
okay.
It's a medium-sized poem, I guess. Now, one of her predictions was the internet.
The internet?
Around the world, men's thoughts will fly, quick as the twinkling of an eye.
All right. Sounds like Twitter to me. Okay.
Mm-hmm. She also predicted cars, planes, and submarines.
Okay.
In 2 separate stanzas. One line being, "A carriage without horse will go."
Okay. Cars, obviously.
Yes. And then, "Through towering hills proud men shall ride, no horse or ass move by his side. Beneath the water men shall walk, shall ride, shall sleep, shall even talk. And in the air men shall be seen in white and black and even green."
Wow. All right, that's kind of cool.
That is pretty cool.
Definitely sounds like airplanes and submarines to me. Absolutely.
Right. She also predicted the American Civil War.
What?
Listen to this. "These states will lock in fiercest strife and seek to take each other's life, when North shall thus divide the South and eagle build in lion's mouth, then tax and blood and cruel war shall come to every humble door."
Yeah, that sounds like the War of Brothers to me, i.e. the American Civil War.
Right. She also predicted modern farming equipment.
Like agriculture?
Yes. Listen to this. "And roaring monsters with man atop does seem to eat the verdant crop, and men shall fly as birds do now and give away the horse and plow."
Sounds like a tractor.
Sounds like a tractor.
That is pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
You know what's funny about a lot of those predictions is so many times they sound so similar, especially submarines. Submarines have been predicted multiple times before. I think humanity just has this innate fascination of doing what seems impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And it takes a very, very creative mind to kind of gear us towards the future and to set these ideas hundreds of years ago that one day we'll be able to fly.
Mm-hmm.
And that happened. But it's been predicted so many times before the invention of airplanes, before we were even near that.
Yeah, I mean, think about it now. If you think about even stuff that we take as satire or comedy. Back to the Future predicted hoverboards.
Exactly. And we don't truly have a true hoverboard yet.
But think lightsabers. We have lightsabers
A
now.
lightsaber was just invented.
It is the coolest thing in the whole world. The best thing that's ever happened this year is a lightsaber.
An engineer developed an actual retractable lightsaber.
A plasma saber. Oh, I am...
4,000 degrees.
Whew. How much do you think it costs?
It's not for sale.
I want it.
I know.
I want it. How do I get my lightsaber license?
I imagine it might be similar to a license to kill.
How does one acquire that?
If I knew, I would already have it.
Is it like you can get one, but you're not supposed to?
I don't think most people are supposed to, you know? I mean, like, who has a license to kill? I feel like it's mostly, like, the military, maybe?
I don't know.
No.
I was thinking more along those lines of
espionage?
spies,
Yeah.
or assassins.
Yeah.
But assassins aren't within the realms of the law.
Well, it depends. Because sometimes they are. Sometimes they're...
It depends on whose side they are.
Exactly.
But really, I mean, if you think about Boba Fett, he was really just doing what someone paid him. Well, he wasn't doing anything, but his job was to do something that someone paid him for.
Exactly.
They're just contracted.
Yeah. They're just contractors, just a different type of service.
Exactly. They're basically lawyers, but they actually...
Go on, finish the thought.
They actually get the guy you're looking for. In addition to those predictions, she also predicted Henry VIII's victory over France in 1513, the dissolution of monasteries, the Great Fire of London in 1666, the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588, and her own death in 1561.
Huh.
And, of course, the end of the world. But that hasn't come to fruition yet, so there's no proving it.
I mean, that's debatable. We could absolutely be in a parallel universe.
Well, she did mention that the end of the world will be coming with a dragon.
But a dragon was just discovered.
Well, there's 6 dragons.
Okay.
We don't know
okay.
which dragon we're on.
Okay.
But apparently, and this is rough paraphrasing here from what I remember from her prophecy, is that a dragon will sweep the sky and the land will go up in flames. And
so
a lot of the land will break off into the sea, and the land in the sea will rise up.
All right, so let's take a second here.
Mm-hmm.
So Australia was in fact on fire.
As well as California.
We're probably a couple of good earthquakes away from that.
California just dropping off.
The San Andreas Fault, just separating the world. What else?
Well, it got a little hard to understand, but it said that once everything's said and done, not all men will die. Some will survive. And those who will survive have to go to the land that came up from the ocean, because the land that remained was covered in dead people. All
right, so when's Atlantis coming up? That's what I just heard, is we're going to find Atlantis.
Wait, didn't they... I saw something that they found Atlantis recently.
I haven't seen that.
But yeah, so hopefully if that dragon comes back to life, we might be a little fucked.
Wow, a little? I mean...
Not just for prophecy reasons.
Beyond the prophecy, I think we'd be fucked for a couple of reasons.
So there's a lot of really cool detail to this prophecy, and there's definitely some things that I could have missed because, Jesus, I haven't had to dissect a poem in years.
Oh, I couldn't even tell you the last time that I did.
Right? So if you guys want to read it, you can look it up. It's Mother Shipton's Prophecies. However, just take it with a grain of salt, because it is rumored that after multiple publications, people add things, people take things out, people edit things. So you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, definitely take it with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yes, skepticism. That does seem to be the theme of this episode, huh?
Absolutely. Not everything you read on the internet's true.
What?
But a place on the internet that'll never steer you wrong?
What?
KCHpodcast.com.
That's the truth, folks.
And that's the truth, folks. No skepticism here. Make sure to check out our website. We are going to be posting some pictures and everything from tonight's episode, as well as some YouTube links to the Fresno Nightwalkers.
Ooh.
And make sure to tune in with us next week, Halloween, October 31st. Not only will you be getting an episode that Thursday, but we'll also be live streaming that Saturday.
Yeah, and you can find our live stream on Instagram and Facebook. And if you can't make it, that's okay. We'll record it and post it afterwards.
You can find it on our YouTube channel,
as well as our website.
In the meantime, make sure to stay creepy. If you have any creepy tellings, haunting tales, or anything that you want us to mention on our live stream next week, make sure to reach out to us. You can reach out to us on Twitter at KCH Podcast, Instagram, Killers, Cryptids, and Hauntings, or via email at kchpodcast.submissions@gmail.com.
And as always, tune in every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for new episodes. Stay creepy.